And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
You know, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last season, guys, was that they were able to finish games strong. You think a group of vets might run out of gas, but the opposite was true with this group. They turned it up down the stretch and were one of the most productive teams in the league in terms of fourth quarter points.
Gets it to go. Green's got the first bucket of the game with the three for the Spurs.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
First quarter of play, 1 minute played. On defense, the Spurs. It's a three-point game. Well, Clark, a big part of why the Spurs were so good last year in the fourth was because they have so many options when possessions, Steve, start getting critical and the game is tight.
Well, no question. You got Parker to create off the dribble. You can always throw it into the low post to Duncan. But on top of that, you've got a roster full of guys who understand how to play the game and know how to play each other. Just the experience that this group has gained together over the years, I think allows them to execute under pressure.
Chalmers, covered by Parker. Three-pointer, Wade. It's rebounded by Splitter. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Leonard, the pass to Duncan. Kicks to Parker. The jump hook. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
Well, LeBron James was probably his best season statistically a year ago. I don't think there's any question about it, guys. I mean, certainly it was his most efficient offensive season. I mean, he had career highs of 56% shooting from the floor and 41% from long range. I don't know if we've seen a player of his size put together those kinds of numbers with the types of shots that he takes. I mean, just absolutely stunning what he did in terms of his efficiency last season.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
Now here's Parker. Here's Duncan. That one wide left. And for LeBron James this season before last, he really focused on scoring in the post, using his size and strength.
And we've seen his field goal percentage climb as a result. The low post work, I think the selection to shoot fewer three-pointers, but a higher percentage. So now, how do you guard the guy? He's got everything in the package. Now that is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run. That's when he's at his best.
Now let's find out what head coach Greg Popovich had to say to Doris Burke. Doris?
We talked about the strategy as it applies to D. Wade. He said Dwayne can score at will when he gets into a rhythm. So our job is going to be prevent him from getting into that rhythm in the first place. Because if we can't do that, the points will just pile up. Most opponents are completely aware of that, guys.
And as always, Doris, thank you. The Spurs making a switch here. Matt Bonner, he's checked in for Splitter. DL comes in for Tim Duncan. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Bellinelli in for Daniel Green. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Good. Spurs leading by 5.
You know, no denying it's been a heck of a run the last few years for the Heat, but you can't help but wonder if the impending 2014 summer of free agency could be the end of it all. The big three came together in a flash of lightning, it seemed, but it could end just as fast if one or all decide to opt out.
Miami's gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. For the three, Allen's shot is off. The Spurs have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Ginobili attacking past the Parker. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And Clark, as you were saying, the trio of LeBron, Wade, and Bosh all have options in their contracts to become free agents in 2014 if they choose to. And Steve, you have to think that at least 1 or 2 of them might exercise that right.
Well, you know LeBron will, because he's the most underpaid athlete probably in the history of sports. He's worth 10 times what he makes. But it's going to be interesting to see what Miami does here the next couple of years with their roster.
And good on the basket. Hook it.
And that kind of defense is just not going to cut it, guys. I mean, they have to get a hand in his face.
Knocks it loose. About 7 seconds up in the shot and game clocks. Here's Chadier, uses both hands to slam it down.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
Back to Ginobili. Parker left side. With 4 seconds on the clock. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. 6 points for Tony Parker.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. Spurs out in front. They lead by 4. And we'll get things started in the second quarter when we return. Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Spurs.
And they're knocking down that mid-range jumper so far.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
No good. Now the Heat take it the other way.
Tony Parker had a phenomenal 2011-2012 campaign, but as is the case with Greg Popovich, he challenged Parker to improve upon that for last season. Popovich told him, good players can be great for a little bit, but great players are always great. And that really resonated with Parker. Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Boy, just a brain cramp, guys. I mean, that should have been the simplest of exchanges.
A different look now for San Antonio. Splitters checked in for Matt Bonner. Duncan comes in for Boris Diaw. And Kawhi Leonard subbed in for Manu Ginobili. Parker outside. And Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Think about how great Parker has been. We forgot his career almost came to an end in the summer of 2012. This is a very interesting part of his career.
That's right. He was an innocent bystander at a club in New York when a melee erupted and bottles were thrown. He got a shard of glass that penetrated almost through his left eye. Very easily could have lost his vision and lost his career.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, Kevin, LeBron James, a career 33% shooter from long range, had never shot over 36% from long range until last year when he shot over 40% from deep. He said over the summer working out, he'd punish himself for missed threes by running wind sprints. And with the Heat, he challenged Ray Allen to three-point contest, with the loser doing push-ups. James said he lost more than he won, but as much as he hates to lose, that competition drove him to improve. Kevin?
You know, you hear it all the time, Doris, lead by example. He's a hard act to follow with his work ethic. And here is Green, following the three from Ray Allen. And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
A lot of people thought the East would be a cakewalk for Miami last year, but Indiana made sure that wasn't going to be the case. What a series with the Pacers using their size and strength to pound Miami down low. And eventually, the Heat were able to pull it out, but boy, was that a tough series.
Here's Duncan. The dish to Parker. Knocked loose. Stolen by Chalmers. In transition, here comes Miami. Bosch kicks to Chalmers. Good ball movement here by the Heat. He dishes it to Wade. Feeds to Bosch. Back to Wade. Expanding his range. Can't get it to go. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. And just to touch back on the Eastern Conference Finals, went to a Game 7 where Miami ran away with the game. But, you know, Clark, if it weren't for the heroics of LeBron earlier in the series, it could have been the Pacers that took on San Antonio in the finals.
You know, I was thinking a little bit about two former ABA teams meeting in the NBA Finals, but the Heat managed to steal Game 1, and I thought that proved to be the difference in the end. That was a game the Pacers had and didn't squeeze. But the way these two teams are constructed, they should be seeing a lot more of each other in the near future. And I think that's great for the league because whenever they meet up in the regular season or the playoffs, It's always been a battle the last couple of years.
Nice rivalry developing
I
between
think
those
you're
two.
right.
Yeah.
A good one brewing.
What a great little run he's on here in the quarter.
Spurs trail by 3. Green kicks to Splitter. He passes to Parker. Kicks it out to Leonard. 3-pointer. And it's Miami with the rebound. Wade's got his 3rd rebound tonight. It's stolen by Green. And here we go. Here's Leonard. A huge slam. The perfect end of the fast break.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close. You know, if you just look at the numbers without knowing who Dwayne Wade was, you'd think he was probably 6'7" or 6'8", but the way he blocks shots and rebounds, even at 6'4", he just plays much bigger than he really is.
Now Parker, after Dwayne Wade's 3-pointer that didn't go. Here's Duncan, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Duncan's got 6.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
And you go back, Clark, to that big man game for Wade, averaging about a block shot a game for his career.
Well, you think about it. He's 6'5", but he actually has a 6'11" wingspan, and you're not going to find a stronger guy at the shooting guard position. He's over 220 pounds, and there's nothing extra there, so he brings a lot to the table.
And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Heat.
And they've come out in attack mode defensively, applying pressure and stealing the ball repeatedly.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
They can trade 2 for 1 here.
Yeah, that's the right move. Get a good possession here, play defense, and get one more opportunity to score.
Allen, that's good. 35 seconds left in the first half of basketball. It's Parker with the drive. Rebound by Mario Chalmers.
He's certainly not been at his best this quarter, and that's an understatement.
Pass to Bosch. Dishes it to Wade. He kicks it to Haslam. Right side Bosch. Now Haslam inside.
Oh, man, that was a real mark it up.
Well, Clark, a clear lane to the